Guys, it's official. OKC have won the championship, the first in their history, 2025 champions. And what can we say other than it's well deserved? They were absolutely incredible through the postseason, deserved all of the accolades that they received in the regular season, showed that they were about it in the postseason. And after a hellacious 7-game series against the Indiana Pacers, they have come out on top. I'll dive into game 7 very, very briefly. Obviously, you have to talk about the Halliburton injury. It was killer. And I think when you heard he had a calf strain, you think back to when KD had a calf strain and then he literally pulled his Achilles and ripped his Achilles. Same thing with Halliburton. You could literally see it pop as he pushed down and tried to get that momentum. And it's heartbreaking, to be honest with you. Someone who's given so much in this postseason has literally emerged as a star in his role for his team in the league. And to see him go out in game 7 like that, you can see the emotion on his face. I'll be honest with you, watching that, I don't know how you couldn't get emotional. But OKC still had a job to do, and the Pacers are a team that do not lie down and die. And OKC slowly but surely exerted that defensive pressure, which has made them NBA champions. And when you ask the question as to what is the one standout feature that makes OKC the champions that they are, and they've got it all. They've got the star, they've got the co-stars, they've got the role players, they've got the size, they've got the camaraderie in the team, they've got all elements of what a successful team should be. But what makes them historic, what makes them almost generational as a team, is their defense. Far and away one of the most dominant defenses that we've seen in the NBA, especially in the offensive era that we've seen. They are tough, they are rugged, they are in the passing lanes. Again, they've got the size. And against the Indiana Pacers, who, for me, have one of the best offensive coaches, have one of the best offensive schemes, play at such a pace, it was going to be a challenge. And I always put it down to who's the best at their weaker side. And so for OKC, amazing on the defensive end. Offensive wise, in the regular season, they were flourishing, they were blossoming, but in the postseason, they were exposed to a slight degree, and especially against the Pacers, this series was a tough one for OKC. But one thing they knew they could rely upon was their defense, and stopping someone like the Pacers was going to be difficult, but they got it done. They got it done and showed why they are a historic team and why they deserve to be where they are. OKC are a team that grew up fast. Yes, they went through their deficiencies, not making it through the play-in in a couple of years, going out in the first round. All of these things that they've gone through, these teething pains, are a team who have grown up and grown up fast. They've had a number of experiences led by their leader, Gilgeous-Alexander, who was absolutely amazing. Over 30 points in the finals, 5+ assists, and averaging nearly 5+ rebounds in the 7 finals games, and just shows his ability. Game 7, while he may have not been his best efficient self, he was still able to put 29 points down in the last game and show his quality, plus matching that with 12 assists as well, being the creator his team needs. Again, the team was growing up fast, and that goes for each and every player. J-Dub, who was absolutely amazing in this finals appearance, truly played that co-star role so well, amazing on both sides of the ball. And he continued to give OKC Thunder exactly what they needed when they needed it. A steadying presence, a calming presence, someone who doesn't get too rattled. And it was great to see him blossom as well. Chet as well had some offensive struggles in this series through the postseason in the majority. But man, what he does from a defensive side, what he does from a rebounding side cannot be underestimated. He's a young player, he's gonna grow, he's gonna fix some of those deficiencies in his game. But if this is him at this point, you're talking about an all defensive type player. You're talking about someone who can grab you 10+ boards a game, someone who's got the outside shot, someone who's got the inside game as well. And so as he gets stronger, as he develops, as he gets more comfortable, he will go leaps and bounds. I heart. We can also talk about Wiggins. There's so many players. Dort, who was an absolute menace and a perimeter defender, a point of attack defender who was absolutely amazing. And again, they had the depth, they had the quality, and you just got to tip your cap to them. Honestly, so good. It was amazing to see SGA peak this season. MVP, conference MVP, scoring champ, finals MVP. He's entering into, rarefied air, and he deserves to be there. He has gone about it the long ride. He's never cheated the game from his time, from me watching him from when he was drafted with the LA Clippers. You could see there was going to be a star there. The quality was undeniable. Did I expect all of this? I don't even think he expected all of this, but this is absolutely where he should be. He's an absolute savant of the game. Again, his playmaking has gone up another level. His scoring is masterful. He dissects the game. He's got an appreciation for the game, and you can tell he works so hard. Again, the defense to me is absolutely unbelievable. I think for the Pacers, they are in a position where they can continue to grow. Hallie's injury adds a lot of uncertainty in terms of where they want to go next season. I think you put more emphasis into the two guards that you've got now, build them up so that they're more robust and more ready to do what they need to do. I think in the fourth quarter of both game 6 and game 7, we saw TJ fade, and I think it's because he hasn't been in that position long enough. He hasn't built his stamina up to be in those positions. He's used to being those quick bursts, and I think he needs to be put in a position where we're going to put you in starting point guard for a period of time, so you get used to that flow of knowing that you're going to be playing 30 plus minutes a game consistently. And that's how you empower the people that you've got in your team, because they're a perfect fit. Nemhart, you need to trust him more. He needs to become more of a playmaker. He's got the defending down, he's got the outside shot most of the time down. Empower him. Benedict Mathurin, again, another player who needs to be empowered. He's shown how he can get shots up and how he can score in limited time. But you've got to give him that opportunity more and more often so that when it comes to the biggest moments, he is ready. He showed it on occasion, but not enough. And I think, again, it goes back to in the regular season, those opportunities were few and far between. Rick Carlisle controls these minutes. He keeps him on a tight leash. And again, those were moments where it probably paid off and he was able to get 20 points in, 20 minutes. But there's times where it didn't pay off and he looked completely out of rhythm as well. Obi Toppin, again, is somebody who was a bright spot. He was a bright spot for majority of the game. I look at someone like Turner, for example, his future. Yes, he was impactful. Yeah, he has the outside shooting, but could they get a more impactful screener? Could they get a better all-round defender? Could they get somebody who rebounds at a higher degree? Because again, that was a big deficiency in the stats between both of the teams as well. OKC, again, they are in a period where they could be a dynasty. They seem to be the strongest team in the NBA. They know who they are. Their core is locked in. They've been absolutely dominating for the last 2 seasons. And so they have the assets. They can move up in the draft. I know Sam Presti will be looking to make the most of this opportunity and make sure that his team are still in control, but don't lose any of the flexibility that they currently have. For me, potentially adding a little bit more experience, potentially getting another sharpshooter in the team from a 3-point standpoint. I still think they need more scoring. It sounds a bit wild. Chet definitely develop, but I still think they need someone who can get their own shot in that time of need. And it doesn't have to be someone crazy, but somebody who can make their own shot, someone who can create for themselves would be a key. I wouldn't necessarily look for a third star. I think Chet can be that third star. And I think they need to continue to give their depth a chance as well. Continue to give their depth a chance and let them grow into the roles that they need to grow into. For the Pacers, obviously Halliburton's injury, will he make a full recovery? The Achilles injury is absolutely devastating. Make sure that you empower those role players that I've already mentioned, especially with this injury. Siakam was really, really good, but he needs to continue to push the envelope and be that number one option. Halliburton shouldn't be the number one option. He's a facilitator. Pascal needs to be that dominating power forward who puts the ball through the hoop and makes sure that he's delivering at least 25 points a night for his team. He needs to be taking it up another level. And Halliburton, he struggled at points during these finals, and the Thunder defended his team very, very well for majority of the receipt. And the Thunder defended his team very, very well for the majority of the season. I do think there needs to be a push from the Pacers in some degree without ruining your core and your key role players. But there needs to be potentially a third star or someone who can sit alongside Halliburton or Pascal Siakam and kind of contribute to that workload. I think they have all the makings of a team that can continue to go through the East. It will be difficult with this injury, but I wouldn't tear down the team and I wouldn't make a trade that would lose some of the key pieces who bring the identity that the Pacers have. However, I would explore getting somebody, whether it's a veteran or a young player, who can give them a different outlook. So, guys, we are looking at absolutely historic team in OKC. What they have done this season is nothing short of amazing. What SGA has done is nothing short of amazing. And also, what the Pacers have done is nothing short of amazing. But we will celebrate the winners, and that is OKC. They deserve all of their accolades. This is honestly a blueprint for what it should be to build a team. It is difficult, and there's been times I've doubted Sam Presti in terms of you get an extra shooter, get some more firepower, but he didn't want to sacrifice his depth, he didn't want to sacrifice his flexibility or the happiness of his team, and that's ultimately what has won him the championship. He's built smartly. The trade for Caruso is another example of you don't have to do something monumental to make a big impact. Sometimes it's the small things that can really, really change. And when we came to the beginning of the season, we knew that Caruso would be impactful for OKC. But what a change it has been for the OKC Thunder. They were on the trajectory. They made the tweaks that they needed to. And they are now sitting in front of you and me as our NBA champions. Guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know who you think will win the chip next season, where you think OKC will get to next season, and what the future is for the Pacers with Hallie sidelined for majority of next season. Guys, it's been EDA. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.